Welcome everybody to my King's Indian Defense Repertoire. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to crush the Orthodox variation, the most popular and complex variation in the Knight E1 line. In my previous repertoire, I showed you how to crush the Knight D2 Orthodox variation. But in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to crush and defeat the Knight E1 line. Let's go. D4, Knight F6, C4, G6, Knight C3, Bishop G7, King's Indian defense, E4, D6, Knight F3, Castle, and now Bishop E2. This is known as the Orthodox variation. Here Black plays the move E5, counter-attacking in the center, and here you cannot take because after Knight takes E5, we have this super savage move, Knight takes E4. If you take the knight, we just take it back, and black is just completely winning. Black is just completely better, so that is not good. Here the main line is to castle, and here we are gonna play knight to c6. Main line runs with d5, knight to e7, and guys, here is the main critical line. In my previous repertoire, I showed you the move knight to d2. Well, in today's video, we are gonna see the move, which is the most popular, knight to e1. This is the classical system, orthodox classical system. Here we are gonna play knight to d7 with the idea of the move f5. Here white goes with bishop e3, and black counters attack with the move f5. Here there is only one move which stabilizes everything for white, which is the move f3. And here I recommend the move f4, attacking the bishop, and now bishop to f2. Here guys, my recommendation is black is just gonna attack with the move g5. The main idea in the King's Indian is gonna be now h5, g4, g3, h4. Just push all the pawns, then take our pieces on the king side and attack. And this is gonna be very bad for white. Notice black is pushing each of the pawns, but white hasn't started yet. Here, white plays knight to d3, and now we are gonna play knight to g6. So our knights are gonna come on f6 and g6, and they're gonna come forward and attack. Here, white plays the move, counter-attacking move c5. Here there are many moves, but I like the move knight to f6. Now pawn takes and pawn takes, d6. And here you can see white hasn't started attacking yet, but black is just on the attack. So it's a very good position for black. But here white can play a very tricky move, knight to b5. Before covering that move, let me tell you that white plays anything, we just have to play h5, g4 and attack. Okay. So today we are gonna covering the move knight b5, a very tricky line for white. And he's just attacking a7. Here we're gonna ignore the a7 pawn and play the move g4, counter attacking white on the king side. And here of course you cannot take the pawn. If you take with the bishop, then after the simple move bishop to b7, the game is over. Yes guys, the game is over because this bishop is attacked by a rook and is only defended by the knight. And now we are just attacking the knight. If knight moves, you lose the bishop. If bishop moves, you lose the knight. If something like queen a4, then you can just take the knight, and after queen takes b5, black is just a piece up. And if white tries to move a4, which looks to save everything, because after bishop takes b5, a takes b5, the rook is defending the bishop, but it's not the case. Because here we're gonna play a super savage move. Rook takes a7. After rook takes a7, it's the move queen b6, which is game over for white. And black is just piece up. This is completely winning for black. So that is not possible. You cannot take the pawn with the bishop. If you try to take with the knight, then here we are gonna play the move g3, attacking the bishop. And here, if white takes the bishop on c8, then we can just take this bishop with a check intermediate between move. After rook takes f7, queen takes e8. Black is again a piece up. So white cannot take the bishop. And here white has to react on our move g3. So pawn takes g3, pawn takes g3. And now if bishop takes, then you lose the knight. It's a deflection move by black. So there's only one move for white which saves the knight and guards it, which is the move bishop to e3. Now I'm also saving the knight. But here you would not believe, but computer shows that white is just 9.96 advantage. What? How? First of all, black can just simply play this knight h5 and the game's gonna get over soon. Knight h5 is just a completely gangster move because queen h4 is on the way and that's check and mate. It's just game over. But here I like a super savage gangster move. Knight takes d5. Unbelievable move. You can't touch even that knight. If you take that, then after the simple move, queen h4, there's a forced mate in 4. So first of all, you cannot take any random move because queen h2 is mate. If rook f2, this queen h2, king f1, and queen h1 is mate. Rook to e1, queen h2 check. After king to f1, it's the move knight to h4, which is game over. Because queen takes g2 is mate and the king has no escaping squares. If knight f4, we can just take and the game is gonna get over because you cannot save the g2 pawn. So you cannot even touch that knight after the move knight takes c5. Here white can say that white has the very tricky move queen b3. Pinning the knight and also attacking it. But it does not change the scenario because after the simple move queen to h4, it's just gonna get over. If you take with the pawn, queen h2 is mate. If you take with the queen, which gives a check, we can simply move the king. And now also it's a mate. If white tries something like rook c1, then we can play the super tactical move bishop to h6. What a move. The point is, if you take the bishop, then after queen h2, this is mate. Why not in that position? Because the bishop was there. This bishop was here, so this bishop could go there. This bishop was here, so it could go there. That's why. That was a deflection move again. So here there's only one move, which is bishop b6, trying to defend the knight and also having the capability to go on g1. Here we're gonna play queen h2 check. After king f1, here there are many moves, but you can just simply play the super savage move bishop to h3 and he's gonna get over. If you play any random move, let's say knight b5, and after queen takes, there's a forced mate in 4. Bishop takes g2, king e1, queen h1 check, mate. And same in that case, like if in this position, here instead of going bishop s3, you can just go queen h1. After this move, it's again bishop h3. If you play any random move, it's a forced mate. So you have to take the bishop. And here you can play the super amazing move bishop e3. The silent killer move, threatening mate. Now king has to run. King e1. Now we're gonna just take the bishop. After bishop f1, it's the move g2 and the game is over. Because g takes f1 is gonna be mate. So let's say king d1. We can just take, and now black has 2 queens on the board. King c2, and there's some forced mate now. Just queen e2, king b3, and we can just take back our queen and just attack the king. And this is gonna be very bad for white. White is just completely losing this position. So in this position, you cannot touch the a7 pawn either with the knight or with the bishop. No. What if white just takes the g4 pawn? Well, that move actually disregards and dissaves the move e4, the pawn e4. The e4 has no defender, so we're gonna take knight. We're gonna take the e4 pawn with a knight. Knight takes e4, and here again you cannot take the a7 pawn. If you take with the bishop, then after the simple move bishop d7, it's the same thing. If this, just take, and it's almost the same position, and it's a fork. It's the same thing, but the only difference is that this pawn has taken r pawn on g4. And if white takes the a7 pawn with the knight, then we have a very silent but killer shot move. Bishop to d7, and the knight is stuck. Knight just cannot come out, and we are threatening to take the bishop and the knight, and this is a very bad position for white. Apparently, in this position, the best move for white is bishop f3, in which situation we can just come back with a knight f6. And now you cannot take the pawn, because if you take it, we can again play bishop d7, but e4 is much stronger. Just forks two pieces, and after, let's say, bishop e2, you can just take the knight. After bishop d3, and again play bishop d7, and the knight is again stuck. So guys, this was the beautiful killer shot sneaky trap against the King's Indian Defense Orthodox knight to e1 line. And now I'm sure if your opponent plays this tricky move knight to b5, then you know how to kill it with the move g4. Well guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. I'll meet in the next video. Till then, be safe, be healthy and keep watching incredible chess. Peace out.